So in this video, we're going to be going through what the benefits are of buying properties using leverage as opposed to not. And I'm going to give you two examples. One where we buy a property outright using no mortgage, and then example number two where we buy 4 properties using leverage, and in this case, a mortgage. I'm always asked the question, why buy properties with mortgages rather than just buy them outright? And this is the reason why. We want to be leveraging the bank's money. So let's just assume that we have £100,000 to invest, and this is example number one. Example one. So we go out, we buy a property for £100,000. We buy it outright, no mortgage. You now own the property. That property rents for about £700 per month. So over the course of the year, that's 8,400, which is at 8.4% gross yield. Okay? So that's the income side of things. So when we look at the capital appreciation of one property, say the property price is increased by 5% compounded annually, in 15 years, that house price would have doubled. So a 5% capital appreciation over a 15-year period, that house price would have gone up roughly 100%, which means your house is now worth, or your property, whatever it might be a flat, might be a house, your property is now worth 200,000, and you've had £100,000 equity gain, which is great. But that's example one. So now let's look at example number two. If we were to buy 4 properties using 25% deposits, so in this case 25,000 for each one, to invest our £100,000. And you might be asking, well, where can you get properties in the UK for 100 grand still? I mean, I personally invest in Warrington, but you will be looking at areas in the northeast or the northwest. So let's just look at example number 2. So let's just say you go out and you buy 4 properties worth 100k. You're going to have 25% deposits, which means you'll be 75% loan to value, meaning you'll have 100 grand of equity and 300 grand of mortgage, i.e. debt. So we're now going to have 4 rents at £700 a month. Which is £2,800 per month in gross rent. And that on an annual basis is going to be 33,600. But also we're going to have a mortgage interest to pay on our debt. So if we was to have 300 grand of mortgages at 4%, say, our mortgage payments, interest only, I must add, will be at roughly about £1,000 per month. So deduct the £1,000 a month, which means net, before obviously your other costs like maintenance, management and all that sort of stuff, you'd be 1,800. 1,800 times by 12, which means we would be earning before net, before other cost, 21,600. Bit messy. 21,600 as opposed to our 8,400 in example 1. So on the income side of things, it's exponentially better in terms of the income, but also this is the really exciting bit. When we look at capital appreciation across a larger portfolio, that's where the magic happens in property. So let's just say the property prices increase in value at the same rate as example 1, so 5% compounded, so 5% increase every year compounded over a 15-year period. The property prices go up by 100%, i.e. they double. Your 400 grand of property is now worth 800,000. But you've also still got 300 grand of debt. Take away your 300. And obviously that's on interest only, so we're not paying down the debt, we're just letting inflation erode the debt. That leaves 500,000 of equity, which means you've had a 400 grand equity gain, which is 4x over example number 1. And that is the power of property. And that is why you always buy property using leverage, use the bank's money to become rich.